Julian Mantle was a man who had everything the modern world promises leads to happiness, yet possessed none of it. As a staggeringly successful lawyer, he lived in a mansion, drove a Ferrari, and commanded a small army of staff. His life was a blur of high-stakes litigation, luxury, and relentless stress, a frantic race toward a finish line he never seemed to reach. The price of this existence was extracted not in dollars, but in health and spirit. He was perpetually exhausted, overweight, and spiritually empty, a shell of a man fueled by ambition and fear. The inevitable collapse came not with a whisper, but a roar. In the middle of a crowded courtroom, his heart gave out. He survived, but the life he knew did not. In that moment of profound crisis, Julian made a decision that shocked his peers. He sold all his worldly possessions, including his beloved red Ferrari, and vanished, embarking on a mysterious journey to India in search of the answers that had eluded him. Years later, a transformed Julian reappears to visit his former protégé, John. The frail, burnt-out man is gone, replaced by a figure of radiant health, serene confidence, and boundless energy. His eyes sparkle with a wisdom that seems ancient. Over a series of conversations, Julian unfolds the tale of his spiritual odyssey high in the Himalayas, where he found a group of sages known as the Sages of Savannah. From them, he learned a timeless, practical philosophy for enlightened living, which he now distills into a series of vivid metaphors and actionable principles. The core of the teaching is visualized as a magnificent, fenced garden. This garden represents the mind, and its cultivation is the most important work of one's life. The first principle is the mastery of that mind. Julian explains that we are not our thoughts, we are the awareness behind them. By practicing the discipline of watching our thoughts without judgment, a form of meditation, we reclaim control from the chaos of worry, regret, and distraction. This creates the inner stillness necessary for all other growth. Just as a gardener must first clear the weeds, we must clear the mental clutter. Within this mental garden grows a towering, redwood-sized lighthouse. This symbolizes the power of purpose. The sages taught Julian that a life without a clear, compelling purpose is a ship adrift at night. Discovering one's purpose, a central goal that ignites passion and serves others, provides an unwavering beacon. Every action, decision, and thought must then be evaluated against this light. Does it bring me closer to my purpose? This focus eliminates wasted energy on trivial pursuits and aligns one's entire being toward a meaningful destination. To fuel the journey toward that purpose, the philosophy emphasizes the cultivation of life force, or Kaizen star. This is represented not by a single object, but by the vibrant health of the garden itself. The sages imparted ancient secrets of breath work, mindful nutrition, and daily exercise not as chores, but as sacred rituals to amplify energy. They taught that a weak body houses a weak spirit. By honoring the temple of the body through proper care, one generates the vitality required to act with passion and sustain effort over the long term. The path of purpose is paved with the stones of self-discipline, visualized as a gold stopwatch embedded in the garden soil. Time is the most precious currency, and it is non-renewable. The sages lived with a profound sense of mortality, using it not as a source of fear, but as a fierce motivator. Julian learned to practice the deathbed mentality, asking himself regularly if how he was spending his present moment was worthy of being his last. This instills a relentless focus and the courage to eliminate procrastination and time-wasting activities, ensuring that each day is invested, not merely spent. Yet, a life of rigid discipline without joy is a prison. The philosophy balances this with the principle of the mind-body connection, symbolized by a pink wire cable connecting the head to the heart. Lasting happiness, Julian explains, is not found in external achievements but is a default state we can choose through our thoughts and actions. By practicing gratitude, savoring simple pleasures, and consciously choosing positive interpretations of events, we rewire our neurology for joy. Happiness becomes a habit, not a distant reward. All these practices are directed outward through the principle of selfless service. In the garden, this is represented by a shiny gold key buried near the roses. The sages believed that the deepest fulfillment comes from contributing to the lives of others without expectation of return. This karma yoga dissolves the ego, the source of most suffering, and connects the individual to a larger whole. By making your life about something bigger than yourself, you discover an inexhaustible well of inner peace and significance. Finally, the entire system is held together by the principle of embracing the present moment, depicted as a set of fragrant yellow roses blooming in *now star. The past is a memory, the future a fantasy, only the present is real. The sages taught Julian to anchor himself constantly in the sensory reality of the current moment, the feel of the breeze, the sound of a bird, the rhythm of his breath. This practice of mindful presence is the antidote to anxiety and regret, and it is the only place where life can actually be lived and enjoyed. Julian's story is a parable for the modern age, a call to awaken from the slumber of automatic living. It argues that true success is not an external trophy but an internal state, a symphony of vibrant health, a peaceful mind, a heart full of purpose, and a spirit of service. The monk who sold his Ferrari did not find his answers in renunciation alone, but in the wise application of ancient truths to the challenges of contemporary life. He offers a map, not to a remote Himalayan summit, but to the highest potential within every individual, suggesting that the paradise we seek is not a place to be found, but a garden to be cultivated within our own minds, one disciplined, purposeful, and joyful moment at a time.